As an actor, I had mainly done straight drama. And so this was my first time having to marry comedy and drama.
How did that feel?
Which is very difficult, very hard. It took me a while to get into it because it has to come from a real place. The emotions have to come from somewhere true, but you also have to make sure that you land the punchline at the same time.
Okay, first of all, thank you all for being here. Really. I'm going to say my name is Henry, and I'm just going to say I am thrilled out of my shorts that I get to be here with three of one of the most wonderfully woven ensembles on television in 2023. It's true. Two incredible sisters that represent the five, and one of the most horrible bad people maybe ever written. Ladies and gentlemen, Sharon Horgan.
Hi.
If we were in Sweden, we would say Claes Bang. Because I got Claes wrong, right?
Claes is not.
No. Claes. It's
Claes
Claes,
like
so I'm
Faith.
going to stick with Klaus.
Eve Hewson.
Eve Hewson. And I'm a devotee to this show. Okay. I told you I was going to get every name wrong. Okay. So, Sharon, I'm going to start with you. This was originally another show in another country.
Uh-huh.
You saw it, or it was brought to you?
It was brought to me.
And then you said, oh, I know how to make this.
I did, actually.
Yeah.
I went, oh. I knew exactly that it was the right show for me because, well, in actual fact, I'm used to writing smaller sort of sitcoms about relationships, and I thought I needed a break from that and to do something that was completely different. And I was sort of nervous about it originally because it's an hour long and it's a thriller and it's in Belgian, which I don't speak, so I had to learn that. And no, not really. And then I knew that it was the one for me. As soon as I watched the first episode and saw all those sisters, I come from a big family, so I really loved the dynamic of that large family. And then as soon as I realized that I would get to, attempt to kill someone several times and that it would be Claes Bang was just...
So let me ask you a question. Did you know all of the cast? Did you know your sisters before you met them in a casting room? Or did you know who you had in mind?
Well, I kind of just chose all my favorite Irish actresses.
And they all said yes.
They all really luckily said... I mean, I knew Sarah Green because we'd made a comedy together. I knew Eva Berthistle, who plays Ursula. We had done something together. I was a fan of Anne-Marie Duff, and we went after them all, and I wrote a love letter to you, didn't I? Just trying to convince you to not take something really massive and to come and do our show and take a punt, and she did, and
which I was never really gonna do because
I
was
bitch.
so.
Really?
I was just so in love with the script, and I was like, I have to play Becca, like. Yeah, like obviously someone else was like dangling like things in front of me that sounded quite nice, but my heart was with this show,
Yay.
And I'm so fucking glad I did.
Yeah.
Because honestly, talking to anybody who knew that little predicament, like we're like, fuck yeah, we made that decision. This is the best show ever.
But you know what is amazing is that you have the ability to be so vulnerable, so tough, and so directed all at the same time. That is not easy from actor to actor. But I want to act. How cold was the water that you kept jumping into?
That was a terrible mistake. I'm always doing that. I'm always writing things and then getting to the day of filming and going, what the hell was I thinking? It was really, really cold, because we shot there at one point. It was sort of close to summer. We don't really get summer in Ireland, that's a big lie. And then one time it was sort of end of autumn near winter, wasn't it? And
November.
Yeah, it was
I just
freezing.
went to the 40 foot and I'll never go back in February because it was so cold.
I had
was horrible.
Eva Berthas, who plays Ursula, tried to convince me that I had to get some sort of medical intervention because there was a chance that we might die.
The girls were such wusses about it. They're like, I mean, really, we couldn't do it. We just absolutely cannot get in the water. We'll die.
They were like, we haven't had the training.
Yeah.
You need the training. If you're going to cold water swim, you need to have had several cold baths.
People do die from that every fucking year. Your lungs collapse. I mean, it happens.
We all got hypothermia. We did.
So how long did you shoot in the water?
I mean, way too long, because it takes an awful long time to get all those cameras in there.
Yeah, right.
So no one's like,
Did you
go
get
and
in
have a break.
before the cameras? No.
No.
What was also weird was that we were shooting, and it's not normal, I guess, for people to be shooting at the 40 foot in Dublin. So there was just a huge town of people watching us, but they didn't really know what we were making.
Yeah.
And so we were like running around in our little wet underwear, like jumping in and screaming. And then my babysitter from when I was 5 years old was there with her camera filming it for my mum. She was like, "Go on, Evie, you can do it, love." And I was like, this is so bizarre.
Now, Mr. Bang, a quintessential moment for any actor to play a moment. You see that you've run over your daughter's cat. You look at the cat and go, okay, so what? And then you just go about your life.
Well, I think I actually sort of looked a little bit, and then I left.
You had a thought
Yeah.
that perhaps you would,
Yeah.
and then decided against it.
Then I blamed it on my wife, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. And that's why they killed you.
Yes, that is one of the reasons. Yeah, I mean, this was just like, we were just trying all the time to pile all this shit on him so we could justify murder, which is hard to do, but we did it.
You did it.
Yeah.
Because I was rooting for them.
Yes, so was I.
So let me ask you a question. Do you always play a character that dark?
No.
So here you are now. We actors, we want to do a good job, and we want the audience to care about us.
Yes.
How did you keep going?
Well, it really is in the writing, dear. It's really what Sharon has written. It's just lean in and enjoy the ride, because it's all there. But I do think there was one thing that was important to me, and that was that it couldn't just be like a caricature or a cartoon. It had to be someone you could identify with, so I had to sort of. I had to put something in there that was real. So I am just basically playing myself, really.
It's always so scary when you say that, but you always say it.
Yeah, no, but it is like. It was a case of you need to get your dark sides out and wave them around a little bit. And I suppose that's what I did for this. But
And you did it, can I just say, I don't mean to interrupt you, you did it unbelievably well.
Thank you so much.
That truly.
Thank you. But it really also is in, it truly is there, Sharon. It's in what you've written. It really is. And I think the thing that we were constantly very aware of was like the balance of it. Because also the thing is that when you've got someone that bad, the person married to him might come off stupid or really, really fucking...
I understand.
And in order to sort of balance that and make sense of why she was with him, that was sort of...
It was a constant conversation all the time, because it
All
was
the
something
time.
that, we were thinking about at the writer's room stage, and when we were scripting and in rehearsal and when we were filming, and then in the edit again, it was just a constant balancing act, because, I had no interest in writing Grace as someone with, full blinkers on, but she is in a desperate situation that, you know, over the years she's become sort of almost, you know, he's broken her down so much that
she believed what he said.
Absolutely, and she's kind of, you know, she's isolated, and but at the same time she's not an idiot and she's not a fool, and so there had to be light moments within the relationship, and you had to see him be a good dad, you know, at times, as well as being, you know, judging things really badly. You had to see tenderness in the family,
right?
You know,
there was tenderness all through the show, as no matter what the plan was, no matter how terrible this man was, no matter how desperate, when you lost your job for no reason except for him, and your love story, you knew not to love him, you couldn't help but love him, and we completely understood your dilemma. That's not easy.
Well, yes and no. I mean, Daryl's really good looking. So we made it work.
He was great with Emma Thompson, too, right?
Oh, he was fantastic.
Wow.
Really fantastic.
But really, I would have to say now, listening, the metaphor for this show is on a teeter-totter, is the balancing. Because it really is true.
And also, just as an actor, you know, I had mainly done straight drama. And so this was my first time having to marry comedy and drama.
How did that feel?
Is very difficult, very hard. It took me a while to get into it, because it has to come from a real place. The emotions have to come from somewhere true. But you also have to make sure that you land the punchline at the same time. So I learned so much from Sharon. I think it's why
the master.
She's honestly one of the best actors I've worked with, because she does it seamlessly.
Yes, she does.
And some of the episodes, like episode 5, is one of my favorite.
Tell us about episode 5 so we know which one.
Episode 5 is when she goes on a date with her sexy French coworker, and she bumps into her old lover in a museum. And the performance is so beautiful and so heartbreaking, because she's trying not to show her emotions, but it's all there while she's also cracking jokes and being really charming. And it's a very difficult thing to do. It looks easy, but it's really not. So I just kind of I got my best education from this lady over here.
Yeah.
Such a lick arse.
The very first time I experienced the performances of Miss Horgan, I wrote her a fan letter. Yeah. I didn't know that it landed. I didn't know that she got it until my back is to you. Hi. I won an award a few weeks ago. It was given to me by the Bad Sisters. And as we were walking off, Eve told me that she knows my son, and Sharon said, "Thank you for the letter." Okay, that's it. So, is there going to be another season? Are the sisters going to have another adventure?
Well, yeah, I'm writing it at the moment.
You are.
Yeah. It's really, I'm really enjoying it, whilst simultaneously, you know, I've got diarrhea every day.
Sure.
It's really, really nerve-wracking thing because people responded so well to the show and so you kind of, you know, you have the people who love the show in your head a little. You can't help that, I think, even if you really, really try. And also, you know, I want to make sure that I'm giving all the actors that I now, you know, adore and love, and I want to give them, you know, enough meaty stuff to keep them all happy. but it's you know, the first series was based on a really great Belgian series, so we had that format, and even though we changed it so much, it was, you know, it was a good sort of skeleton to have, and so we're kind of freewheeling now, but I love it because the characters are just so much fun to write for.
I'm
like
sure.
it's like putting on, 5 sister skins and just living through all of them. It's
When
very
you're
good.
writing, do you hear each sister?
Yeah,
you do.
completely.
And now
yeah.
they were right in front of you.
Yeah. I mean, it's
That is John Paul's worst nightmare.
Now, John
Each
Paul.
of those 5 sisters in his head. That
I
is
tell you what, it's
John Paul is dead. Will you watch season 2?
Oh my God, I'm gonna watch it from my little heaven.
I just threatened to tell him the whole plot backstage there, but I was like, it's going to take a while.
Wait, when do I get to find out?
Well, very soon. Yeah, I mean, I gave you a very loose, sketchy.
I have the beginnings of it, but I don't know what happens with Becca. I've heard some rumblings.
all sorts of terrible things.
Shenanigans.
But you're probably not going to reveal it here now.
No, I won't reveal
Right.
it here now. No.
Where have you done most of your acting? At home? Or where did you
No,
go
I usually go to a set or a theatre.
Touche.
It
Excellent
becomes
answer.
so weird, and my wife is sick of it.
Excellent. But where
Can
did you grow up?
I'm putting another play on, darling.
Can you come watch it?
Where, no.
No. Well, I mean, I've
Where
done
did you grow up?
in Denmark.
In Denmark.
Yes,
And
and I did I came out of drama school in '96, and I probably did my first 20 years there.
Wow.
Yeah, something
And
like
now you live
that. Still there.
in Denmark.
Yeah, still there. But
How did you find, out of all of the human beings
Yeah.
who could be bad,
Yeah.
the worst?
Well.
I'm really
he is
curious
the
to hear
worst.
this as well.
Well, I was a big fan already. I'd seen The Square. I don't know if any of you have seen that film. It's an extraordinary film with an extraordinary performance. But I would never have even thought, for a second. But it was Nina Gold, our casting agent.
Person, yeah.
And then as soon as she said it, it made so much sense. And in fact, it sort of ended up changing how I approached the scripts and the character, because suddenly, this character who was always sort of an outsider with the sisters, he could never break into the family. He's also an outsider, in terms of the island as well. He's a foreigner, like a stranger in a strange land. And so that kind of changed everything. And then we zoomed, didn't we, in... well, I assume it was Denmark, or you made it look like it was Denmark anyway.
It was
You were,
He has a map of Denmark behind him.
what part of it looked like Denmark?
just all the wood. There was so much wood. There was
The
lots
statue of Hans
of
Christian
wood.
is
I was
true.
like, are you having a
The
sauna?
fact that Hans Christian Andersen was standing.
No, there was a lot of wood. In fairness,
I have a small cabin in the countryside. I was in that. Yeah, very woody.
Like, I've just finished doing one of my performances in the bathroom. Let's talk.
Yeah, no, that. Yeah, I remember that. That was. I mean,
We did a couple though, didn't we? Because initially
yeah.
it was just like the getting to know you thing, and then it was then we sort of the next one was talking about character and some of this, just making sure that we were on the same page.
Well, I mean, you got on that call and you said so. The first episode has got your character's name on it, and it's called The Prick. And I was like, oh, sure, I'll do that, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you've never shied away from you wanted for his badness to always feel like it came from a real place, and that he could be villainous but not cartoonish.
No, but I think it was important that it just was always rooted in something that was real.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would just be bad with bad on it.
Yeah.
And that's just probably not going to work. I mean, it comes out of probably out of insecurity, I'd say.
Yeah.
Probably he's just very insecure with these 5 sisters.
Very.
He'll never get in there. He feels that they're a threat to his family. They're always buying underwear for his daughter or whatever, doing weird things.
Right.
So he's just. I mean, I think it's that. I mean, that's what I sort of based.
Well,
on.
whatever
That
it was, it worked.
Good.
Really.
So I could have based it on
Eve.
cheese.
I got your name right.
Yay!
That is so great. No, I'm proud. Can I ask you a question? The Square was directed by the man who directed The Triangle of Sadness.
That's
That's
right.
right. Yeah.
One of the best movies of the year.
What's his obsession with shapes?
I've no idea. I don't know.
The square? The
This is
triangle?
where- yes, I don't know. The next one is not going to be about shapes, I think.
No. But if you ever talk to him, send him my best.
I will.
Okay. So, Eve. Evie. I heard you when you first came in tonight, you hugged.
Yes.
You said, my darling, my sweetie. Yeah. So how do you play with someone that you like in real life? How do you play such venom that you're willing to stab a liver?
Well, I wasn't going to stab her.
No. No, not a living person. A liver. An actual organ.
The liver. I
The
didn't do the liver.
No,
You
didn't do
did the liver.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did the...
You did the freezing.
I did
The freezing and the closing of the drawer.
I did the grandma.
What?
The grandma.
The grandmother.
I killed the grandma.
You left the grandmother
Yeah,
in the freezer.
I did a whoopsie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think more Becca... I think...
We've never talked about this, but you killed my mother.
I know. I'm so sorry.
We need to sort of just touch on that for a second.
I'm so sorry. I was
Is
meant
that
to
all
kill
you
you.
Okay, fine, all right. That's
Yeah, I don't know. I think Becca's sort of the scrappiest of the bunch, and she wears her heart on her sleeve, and I think she trusted the prick the most. And
Well, he was going to give her money for
Exactly, he was
starting a
gonna give her
business.
money.
I never
to
said that
start
in
the-
so many words.
As you said, yeah.
So I think it came from sort of like a childish rage place, I would say, and then also, you know, it was accidental what she did, and so then was also kind of anger at herself. I think was her demise in that moment.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely started out with the most sort of innocent kind of faith in him. Like, you know, in the first episode, you're almost quite sweet with him, aren't you? You kind of ruffle his hair, and you know, he's more of just a slightly annoying in-law. But then when he fucks with your sisters, really, isn't it? When you realise what he does to Ursula, that's when you can see and feel that anger take over, and then it's just all guns blazing, and then you're the most sort of enthusiastic of, you're really
I know.
quite good at it. Yeah.
I was watching the episodes and I was like, God, I was
glee.
I was having so much fun in that freezer. Yeah, then I get really into it. I think also because there's the element of her being the baby and nobody taking her seriously and feeling, you know, pushed out and wanting to be like with the big girls.
Yeah.
That once she's invited into the group, it's like she got picked for the team.
Yeah, but then you
know?
become a liability.
And
That's-
then, yeah. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy in the end.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so here we are. Unfortunately, we have too short a time to really talk to these incredible actors who have brought us such an enormous entertainment. I cannot wait to see season 2 and what the hijinks you girls get into. Klaus, because I did not get the English pronunciation. I said Claes. And it's like place. In my mind, Claes is like place. Congratulations to you. Congratulations for the extraordinary commitment to this wonder that we got to witness. If you are here because you wanted a night out, it is called Bad Sisters. If you have seen it, I think your homework is not only to email everyone you know in America to watch it, but since I have no pride, Barry starts in the middle of April.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Thank you for coming, and thank you for the opportunity to sit up here with you.
Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing this. It's a real pleasure and
What a
privilege.
great conversation.
Thank
Good
you.
fun.